So here's something I didn't expect. After a little break, we came back to Swords Only and we were building this team in the last episode. And then I logged out of this account and I just kind of wanted to keep playing on it. Now, last time I did end off by saying I was going to go through and make sure that all of these artifacts were fully upgraded and everything was polished off with this team. That didn't exactly happen. However, I actually have a good excuse. Right now, we have this event like I stated last time. So for all talents and all weapon ascension materials, we get double drops. But then this buff is also giving us double drops on most things. So while I have all of those buffs, I figure it's smarter to farm that stuff instead. And so that's why in this episode, I want to try to build this team because I really want to test out Electro-Charge. I haven't tried it since the buff, but I did see a number of you saying that Shalonen could be a better replacement than Jean here. And with Jean, obviously we get the Viridescent buff and her heal is a team-wide heal, which is very nice, especially if you have a Farina on the team. Shalonen's heal is not as great for Farina things, and I don't have her signature weapon or any constellation, so I'm not actually positive on whether it's better to go Shalonen or Jean, because also I don't remember the exact way that it works. It's been a while since I used her, but she does some funky stuff with their HP where she can't be healed, but she heals herself. To start things off, we're gonna go ahead and start leveling up this weapon because I was farming this weapon's ascension materials the past couple of days, and I think I should have enough to just max it out right now, so long as our Mora and weapon XP holds up. It does seem like weapon XP is not gonna be holding up so well, but at the very least, we can max ascend the weapon and get it to level 85. Oh, that's right. Nobody has artifacts because we took them all off last time. It's funny, I just realized that our main damage dealers on both teams kind of specialize in normal attacks, which is also bad because they probably want to use almost the same artifacts. In terms of the ideal sets, we don't really have a great option here because Thundering Fury is a good set, and if we're trying to do stuff with Electro-Charge, then that works out. But the other set in that domain isn't really great, although we run into the same problem if we were to try to go for the Whimsy set, because Whimsy's great for her, but Unfinished Reverie is not ideal for this account. The last resort option would be Gladiator's Finale. For the time being, I gave her 3 pieces, and I guess I might as well just throw on 2 random pieces for the last 2. That way I can at least use her for farming. I'll have to decide what set I want to go for on her, but on Xingqiu it is very easy. We want Severed Fates. This flower is fantastic for him. It's actually kind of wild that I do not have a level 20 feather from the Severed Fates set. Between attack and ER is great for him, but if he's with another Hydro character, and considering he's going to be on an R4 sacrificial sword, can I make that R5? No, he's on an R4 sacrificial sword. I might be able to get away with attack percent. Then we have to go with this circlet. I guess I could use this one, but they're pretty much the same. Then ideally for the goblet, I want to power this up because it's crit rate and energy recharge, whereas this is double crit, but it doesn't have energy recharge. However, we already know that I don't have any fodder to power these up with, so I'm just gonna stick with the one that we have. What do we look? Oh no. All right, I did end up leveling this, and it rolled 24% energy recharge, so that should definitely be plenty of energy recharge, although our crit rate is still terrible. Now, I imagine our Farina is gonna look a lot like she did before I took the artifacts off, but let's go ahead and just pick the best 4-piece golden troop that we can, of which we do not have too many options to choose from. And because it is Farina, I'm just gonna stick with the HP percent goblet, and by the looks of it, we're gonna be struggling with crit rate on her as well. All of her pieces are level 20, and we have a 64 to 166 ratio. It's again, more crit rate would be nice, but 181 energy recharge is fine considering we also have Xingqiu, and she's currently on a Favonius sword. That brings us to Shalonen on the Flute of Espitzel. I am now realizing that she is not max ascended. That is unfortunate. And then looking at our artifacts, there's only one option. Yo, what the heck is this feather? 17% crit rate? I'll be honest, I don't think she needs that. She doesn't need this either. Like, we just want defense. Healing bonus is fine. Substats are terrible. Technically, she should be one of the easier characters to build because it's just defense. Although preferably, I'd like to have some energy recharge on her as well because right now, there's actually 0. I don't know how I managed to do that, but not a single artifact gives her any energy recharge. So unlike with the last team, this time we kind of need a lot more artifacts. But thanks to our returning player bonus, I may be able to max out the sword. No, not even close. I could max out Claren's level. However, Mora is still a problem. I did forget to check on talents, but for the most part, I think they're okay. I wouldn't mind putting one more level into Claren's skill, but I'd have to wait 3 days to do that anyways. So I think for the most part, this is just going to be a lot of artifact farming. Therefore, it's going to be a lot of no upgrades. All right, I don't know if it's a very smart decision, but I think I'm going to try to farm the Whimsy set. Unfortunately, 3 of the sets that we want to farm are not in the strong box. The only one that would be is Severed Fates. And also, Severed Fates is the only domain that has 2 good sets in it. Although I guess that's not completely true because the Hunter set is also very nice. But I must say, I already like how many numbers I'm seeing on screen. But you know what I'm not liking on my screen? Defense percent. Big shocker, after 3 whole runs, we did not get anything that's usable. But you know, for as much as this team still needs to be upgraded, it's really not performing that poorly. It's also worth noting, because I completely forgot about this, that when her bond of life is greater than 100% of her max HP, she gets 10% extra crit rate. I was very confused when I looked in here and this was at 98% crit rate. It's unfortunate that her stats are actually pretty decent because we're gonna have to change her build. Oh, something is happening and she is overcapping on crit. Easy solution. We change to crit damage. And then, oh, that is really nice. I just need to point this out because if I don't, one of you will. With this additional crit rate passive that she has, if I kept reading, I would have seen this max 2 stacks. So you get 20% crit rate, which is why we were overcapping. Putting that aside, our resin has replenished, which means it is time to take our daily dose of copium and attempt to get some usable artifacts. After doing 8 condensed runs in this domain, I have been reminded of 2 things. First off, artifact farming sucks. And secondly, our Shalonen definitely needs energy recharge. So this is what we're gonna do. I did not get a single usable piece for Clorand, but stat-wise, she is fine. So what I'm gonna do instead is go farm pieces for Shalonen because that should be easier. All we really care about there is defense percent and energy recharge. And at least if we get that for her, then when we do rotations, I don't have to just wait for her burst to come back. So to me, this seems like a smart decision. Though I'm curious if anyone else would think the same. Oh, and the game gives me a Seat Lally piece. Couldn't just give that to me on my main account instead? We did get defense percent, but there's no energy recharge. Look at all of those beautiful numbers. This is why I wanted to build an Electro-Charge team. I've always liked the reaction. It just wasn't that great. Also, no energy recharge because it's a very simple reaction to proc. But now with the more recent buff, it is once again viable. You know, I was gonna make some comment along the lines of like, this account has been in existence since 2021, I think, and we barely have any artifacts, it feels. So then I was gonna be like, oh, you know, what the heck is up with that? What have I been doing? But farming this domain reminds me why I have so few artifacts, because everything that you get just sucks. I'm gonna burn the last of my fragile resin in hopes that we get one usable piece. Oh, look, it's the exact substats that I want, but on the wrong set. This is the last run, and it's not condensed, and we can actually use that. I was so shocked it was usable, I stuttered over my own words. This is what we want. Defense, you know, usually that's terrible. As long as we don't roll into it, it's fine. So now we look for, yes, energy recharge. Then the next one is defense percent, followed by flat defense. It's better than the flat HP. This is probably the only artifact I'm going to be able to level up today. And, oh, okay, well, there's the flat HP. It is sad to say, but that is an upgrade. Wait, earlier in the video, did I say that Golden Troop was not in the strong box? Because I feel like I did. It is definitely in the strong box. Though I wish it was the other way around because I would much rather farm Emblem or the Golden Troop domains, as those have 2 sets that could be good on this account. Oh, Cryo. Oh, for Ayaka doesn't use this set, but Ayaka off piece. Other than that one piece though, it's not looking too good. Yeah, not ideal. So that means no upgrade for our Xingqiu. We had 1 feather that was an upgrade for Shalonen that gets her 9% ER, and Clorand also got no upgrades and she's still not even on the right set. You know what I'm considering? I would lose so much defense percent, but I could just put her onto an ER Sans, at least until I can get some, oh boy, at least until, oh, that's so bad, until I could get her a better piece, because that is our 1 slot that doesn't have to be on set. And so we lost about 400 defense, but now we're at 160% ER. And I feel like that's better for our rotations overall. So what better place to test out both of our teams than the Spiral Abyss? And before you even conceive the idea, no, I will not be doing floor 12 because these things exist. It's also not looking great for floor 11 chamber 3 since there's 2 cryo enemies and we've not built a single pyro character. Oh, they're probably giving all this pyro stuff because of Mavwika. And yes, Pyro Traveler exists, but you have to do like all of the Natlin Archon quest stuff. And besides that, Bennett is the only Pyro Sword character. So perhaps not the best Spiral Abyss for this account. With that said though, let's put these teams to the test. Clearly, floor 9 is definitely going to be a very difficult test for us. Because in case you guys didn't know, like for those of you who don't play the game too much, floor 9 is actually the hardest one with floor 12 being the easiest, which is why I don't want to do it. You know, I just want to be challenged. I don't want to do the easy stuff. And then for the second, oh, it's over. You know, I just now realized I can hold down normal attack with Chlorand and then press her skill in the middle of holding down the normal attack, whereas I've just been spamming left mouse button. But honestly, I think I'm going to continue spamming the button because it just feels more impactful. It feels like I'm doing more even though I'm not. And then with Ayato, I hold it instead of spamming it. So that actually makes no sense. I should start spamming it with Ayato as well because it's really good practice for when dialogue pops up on the screen. Since it's chamber 3, I am using absolutely everything at my disposal. This is not overkill at all, I promise. Now for floor 10. The beauty of Electro-Charged is that it's good for AoE. And on one side of this abyss, they're stacking a lot of enemies. On the other side, it's like 1 each time. Oh no, I just got confused between Chlorand and Ayato's playstyle. I was trying to spam his skill during his normal attacks and I was panicking because it wasn't working. Like I said earlier, it's kind of funny how I ended up building 2 characters that are very similar in playstyle as the main DPSs. I've not really been able to test a full rotation yet because the enemies are just falling over. And that's not because we're on the easier floors. That's simply because our characters are too strong. Let's not get those 2 mixed up. So we've made it to floor 11. As we could see, it's a lot of enemies versus 2. So Hyper Bloom, oh no, this thing's here. Well, Hyper Bloom's got to go second side because of the single targetness of it, but then also these idiots. So that does mean Ayato is completely useless on the last chamber. This would be a great time for Alhaitham to tag along, but I'm not going to bring him. He is not one of the characters we've been trying to build. 24 enemies. That is crazy. Let's get it started. So we have Chlorand's burst back. That's fun. We'll immediately use that again. Nice. Then onto this. And we have Shalonen's burst back. I'm not actually going to keep using all the bursts because I want to save them for later, but I'm glad to see that all of our bursts do seem to be coming back up in time. Now, if we were only against 1 target, I'm not so sure that'd be the case, but it does seem like that team is functioning. Then on this side, like our Hyper Blooms are hitting for about 20k, but it does seem like overall our damage is struggling a little bit more here. Oh, also these characters' artifacts aren't powered up yet still. I just remembered that. So that's probably not helping. This Electro-Charge stuff is just so satisfying though. Oh, speaking of things that are not satisfying, however, these idiots, which I'm just going to keep throwing stuff at and hope that it breaks through their shield. 1 is down. Probably should not have bursted there, but both of them have been defeated. Oh, I forgot these dweebs suck up your bursts. You know, I'm going to go out on a limb here and I'm going to say that I think powering up these artifacts would definitely help. However, we still got our 3 stars, which brings us to the chamber where we are not going to get 3 stars because I don't think we're breaking through all this cryo stuff. But let's see if I can prove myself wrong. The answer is I can't. Also, like I said, I did end up using Freena's burst last time, which made this rotation really bad. Also, we gotta love when you're affected by cryo and you move at half the speed. Okay, those weren't bad, but this will be. Here we go. Can I break this in time? This is also only the first half, and I get frozen every time I use Xingqiu's skill. Wait a second. We actually did it. Okay, Ayato, don't let me down. I know. Oh, wait, Ayato will let me down because he literally can't do anything here. I'm gonna put this up anyways. Don't ask me why. The plan is just stay in this form as much as we can. Oh, no, 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 no. Death not good. Death very bad. Ayato, you can die. You know what Ayato can do? He can give me invincibility frames. But we actually did manage to 3-star that. That was genuinely much better than I expected. Yeah, Ayato's stuff is not maxed yet, and then pretty much everything Cookie has is not maxed either, and that's the important stuff with all of the EM, which is probably why our Hyper Blooms were only hitting 20,000. Well, against my will, I was not able to do anything on this computer for a number of days. You see, my CPU cooler decided it wanted to fail. So, what is this? Why is this here? What is this? Why is this in my map? But yeah, I had to wait about 5 days for the replacement part to get shipped to me so I could replace it. So on the somewhat bright side, I can farm another weekly boss because it is now a new week. Not so bright side is this video is very much late, but we do not talk about this. This video is so on time, it's insane. I mean, look in the comments right now. I'm sure a bunch of people are saying this video is so on time, it's insane. At least, I hope they're saying that. But yeah, a brand new update has been brought to Genshin. I did not really realize that that was happening already. You know, this team actually does pretty well here too. We get ourselves 2 drops and a Dream Solvent, and that was for her skill, which I think with that Dream Solvent we might be able to upgrade. I also regret to inform you and myself that I was not able to do Lantern Ray on 2 of my accounts. Both my main account and the Geo only account did not get to pick their free forced. Oh, I didn't get the skin for Xianling on my main either. Thank you very much, Corsair, for making a wonderful CPU cooler that works so well. My favorite part is when the pump fails after less than 2 years and then I just can't do my job. All right, let's play a little game. This game is called Do I Have the Mora for That? And what we're gonna check is upgrading our skill. Do I have the Mora for that? Surprisingly, yes. Definitely don't have the Mora for anything else though. Also, your weapon is only level 86. I can get it up to 87. And I will be farming for Shalonen, just it's not gonna be on camera because I don't have the resin for it, but I do have resin. Luckily, I do still get my 2x bonus in artifact domains. I will hop back into the one that we need to farm for Shalonen's pieces. Let's be honest, it really doesn't matter which domain I farm because I'm not gonna get anything good anyways. I know I'm a very positive person. What can I say? Double drop number 1 gets us double drop number 2 defense percent but no ER. However, it could roll ER. Double drop number 3, defense. Also, this new character is going to be on the standard banner after this update, but I thought it'd be really funny if they put her on the standard banner during the update, because then you could lose your 50-50 but still get her if you're pulling for her. I mean, I get why they did it the way that they did, but I kind of wish they did it the other way because it would have been funny. Now, after this episode of Swords Only, there probably won't be another one on this account for a little while because I do just want to take time and finalize all of these builds, especially if we ever want to do something like Imaginarium Theater. I can't even do that on my main account at the highest difficulty because I just don't have enough characters built. So I want to make sure that on these sorts of accounts, we're not just leaving characters half built everywhere. And as we've seen, it's just going to be a lot of artifact farming, as well as ascending Shalonen again, of course, and whatever else I might need to do. So these are the last artifacts that we're going to be able to collect here, or probably just artifact because it'll be 1, and I'm not going to use it. So the game plan will be leveling up Shalonen as well as leveling up Chlorand, even if it's not necessary. I just like seeing the level at 90. Then I need to make sure that her weapon gets to max level. This needs to be fixed. Then ideally Shalonen needs to go back on the defense percent and just have a bunch of ER and substats. Need to power up all the artifacts, not just of this team. Well, wait, what is... What is this? You can sort by elements now? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, but I also need to make sure that these get leveled, especially these. Okay, hold on. I need to complain about one last thing before we go. There's a 40-day event. Okay, 40 days. That's a long time for Genshin events. What are the rewards? Not even 1 wish? That's an interesting choice. Hopefully I'm just misunderstanding it. Apologies for how late this video is. It was literally out of my control. I hope you guys did enjoy though. And as always, I shall see you all next time.